Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do is I want to talk to my chosen ones about how they will always refuse to acknowledge you, that spiritual being within this vessel. And before I dive into my subjects today, I just wanted to say I appreciate all the love and support everybody been giving. Y'all don't understand that the same way y'all get love and light from me and what I do here, I've received those same vibrations from y'all. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to say I appreciate all the vibes that y'all always sending out, all the comments and love that y'all be dropping down below. But today, I wanted to touch base on, like, a lot of these beings out here, you know, we can call them low vibrational, we can call them demonic entities, whatever word suits you. A lot of these beings today do not want to acknowledge anything past these vessels. I had to rephrase it because they understand that we are light beings. They know that we are different. We process different. We think different. We do a lot of things different than the way they do. But as y'all know, I keep y'all up to date, and you know, I'm always out here engaging with the real world, and that's kind of where I get my source of experience mixed with knowledge at, because I'm allowed to practice what I preach. I'm allowed to put things in place and see what works and what doesn't work. But I realized as of recently, because I had to do some more trial and error, that a lot of these beings either are not allowed to see past these vessels, or they are not allowed to acknowledge anything beyond these vessels. And I had a being recently who found me through what I do here. Said they've been watching me for a while, some months or something, whatever. And I understand that we are not these vessels, but these are our vessels. This is my vessel. This is my car. This is my spaceship. You know what I mean? I understand these things. But this vessel does not operate without me, the being within, controlling it, telling it what to do. And the more I realize and understand that it's always going to be a catch-22 with a lot of these people out here that do not follow source. There's always going to be a catch-22 with people who do not follow source. They have no guidance and no blueprint, and they don't want it. A lot of them are into this new age, modern day demonic frequency, and they don't want to shift out of it. But it always makes me understand how serious and how deep the war is when I have beings who find me here doing what I do. And y'all know I don't be on no bullshit over here. I don't, you know, I have fun with it, but, you know, I'm not really up here doing comical, you know, content. And I really don't even look at it as content, because this is me every day, all day. I don't have any scripts. I don't do any of that stuff, you know. And if I'm going through something hard in life, usually I want to balance that out, figure that out before I get up in front of the camera, because this is all free flowing. And when people find us in spaces when we've already transitioned, and they refuse to acknowledge the being within or see us beyond or where we're going, we have to understand that they're stuck somewhere in the spiritual realm. They are stuck. So it's kind of like, just because I got them in the intro and I had a whole hard time with them in one of my recent videos, it's kind of like the butterflies, you know what I mean? Like when you're on the ground, you don't have as much vision and insight as you would if once you graduated and you made it through, you know, that process, and now you got your wings, and now you can soar up and above, and you can see everything in a lot better, clearer view. If someone finds you or is, you know, your vibration attracted them to you, or they sought you out, you have to be willing to understand and not take any hard feelings to people only seeing you as an object and what they can use you for and how you will benefit them. I've been experiencing life for a long time, so I've been through a handful of transitions. But it always gets weird to me when people put me into the objective category, or when the opposite sex females view me as literally, a piece of meat. You cannot find someone or reach out or engage with people who are creating substance. They are substance. They're building substance and value, and then you treat them as a lesser. You can do that, but it's not going to get you very far at all. You know what I mean? And since I've been working on some new tactics and figuring out different avenues, I don't get as offended anymore. When I was first growing into this space and I had people just reaching out solely for seeing me as a sex object, it used to make me a little angry before. I don't really get bothered that much anymore. I cut the ties off right there where it's at, right? If I found somebody, or I met somebody, or bumped into somebody, and what they love to do is paint, and that's what they do. They got it all over their social medias. They talking about it. Some of them get so creative that they're even making merch with their paintings on it. I would communicate and engage with them about what they're putting a lot of their time and energy into. See, a lot of the opposite sexes out here, depending on if you're a female dealing with a man or a man dealing with a female, these beings only see us as these vessels. And it was kind of weird and creepy because I've explained a lot about, a handful of the witches that I dealt with. And this one didn't make any progress, but, they came in the door and it was literally it felt like a young version of me. It's weird to me when I come across females or females find me and that's all they're thinking is sacral chakra, sacral chakra, sacral chakra. In my mind, I be processing 50 Cent song. I got the magic stick. If you feel like you have that much value and substance within you, then you understand that you cannot just be sharing your sacral energy with anyone, even if you have needs. And that's where a lot of us adults are at right now, because we have been overly sexualized in today's society. And this being, right, I let them linger on for probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. But I realized every time I engage with them, they only had a certain amount of statements that they would ask me, and then it would stop there. And it's how do you find me in a space like this, and that's all you have to talk about is sacral energy? I'm a man, and I used to be in that realm years ago. Sometimes it makes me feel like I'm almost less masculine because of they're taking on my old thought process where that used to be the lead when I was younger. I don't lead with that anymore because I've ran into enough beings who only seen the vessel and wanted to utilize the vessel and what came with the vessel. And this being wanted me to travel out to them to take some photos, right? It would have been business. But for me personally, all business ain't good business. All money ain't good money. So for me, I didn't feel the need to drive 6 hours out the way to go do some business with someone who hasn't even been talking to me about the business or about this spiritual realm where they found me in. It's been all sacral chakra, even when I'm not responding and they're sending me numerous of messages back to back, you know what I mean? It's don't send me pictures in videos and think that I'm a regular male and I'm a fall for the trap and I only think with my sacral chakra. I've already excelled past that chapter in my journey, you know what I mean? So I'm at a space now to where I have no problem turning down the free box, you know what I mean? I opened up the door because it was a business inquiry. But when you deal with so much witches and witchery and warlocks, you kind of learn to tread lightly even when it's business. So for me, even processing how things have been operating out here, it's like I couldn't imagine traveling 6 hours to go do some work with someone who's only processing sacral. Even to rail me in, they didn't even try to dive into my space. They literally used the same tactics that they use on every other male or every other vessel. And a lot of the examples that I've been given recently, and I've been given since I started doing this. I speak on family, I speak on spouses, I speak on all of that. Like, they should already understand, like, you are not going to be able to rail me in or trick me with any witchery. When I stopped engaging with them, you know, it was, y'all know how it is when you stop engaging with people and you don't block them yet. Sometimes they'll send you a bunch of messages, be a bunch of little bubbles. I had a bunch of little bubbles, not being responsive, and then as the night went on, this was a couple days ago maybe or so, and they sent me a video, and it's like, you could send me a video or pictures of your body and stuff like that. I don't really care. It doesn't intrigue me anymore. I've been around females for 38 years. I'm raising one. I have a completely different outlook on women. Y'all are a completely different species. Y'all should be looking at men like we are completely different species, you know. And I never responded back. I kind of left it where it was at. I've been getting really good, and we all should be getting really good at saying no, ignoring, blocking, deleting. Because most beings that you encounter and engage is only going to see you for this vessel, you know. And most of us that's in this space for real, understand that we are way much more than these vessels. Way much more. That's why these vessels stay here and we go on to our next journey. You know what I mean? But when I was experiencing that, I was just kind of baffled and laughing at the same time, because it's like, here goes another of these witches trying to work their spells the same way, thinking that, oh, well, if you lead with your sacral energy, I only think with my sacral energy, and I'm just going to follow suit because I'm so thirsty. I'm not thirsty. I'm not thirsty, and I know a lot of us aren't thirsty to be in any kind of demonic frequencies, you know, to have a bunch of witches and warlocks around us, or for us to put ourselves in any traumatic situations that we have to overcome that we could have prevented by not putting ourselves in those positions. It gets difficult even trying to do business these days, because even with it being transactional, people still have other agendas. So even if I traveled out my way to do that business, and, you know, in my world, I dealt with so much witchery, I don't know what you're capable of doing. I know which playbook you're using, so I know the lengths that you're willing to go. Not saying that they went to those lengths, but if someone is using that playbook, you should be understanding that they are capable of turning the couple pages and going to another chapter to pull out different spells to cast on you. And it's like, you guys see me for some kind of fool, some kind of joke, some kind of lame, somebody that just don't stand on what they say or their word, someone with no principles or values to approach me that way. Like, I really wanted to be disgusting to that being, but that God light in me was like, they already don't have, you know, the same access to sources we do, because they have to remove those other contracts that they have in place. You know what I mean? When you first are meeting people, engaging with them, business-wise or non-business-wise, y'all don't know each other. So it's always open universe to create conversation. And these are the things that you choose to conversate about. We are no longer in a space of leading with sacral chakras. You know what I mean? Like, we understand that we've been through some situations and we're working on balancing things out. You know what I mean? And even if you're not practicing celibacy, you know, you still don't want to just give your energy or take someone else's energy that ain't moving with source. You know what I mean? It's a difference between having a god and goddess come together, you know what I'm saying, and they making it do what it do. You know what I mean? It's like the rejuvenation, the vibes is different afterwards, opposed from when you are engaging with these people who use the other playbook, you know? It's a huge, huge disconnect when you are engaging with these beings, you know? Like, from dealing with, I want to say, like, me and my BM stopped probably like around 2018. We probably stopped being involved with each other like that. But ever since then, I have never knew what it meant to actually fully engage with someone and be disconnected. The same way they learn from us, we learn from them. And that was something that I didn't want to go deeper in, like being more of a disconnect from other people. That's how I engage, that's how I interact, that's how I get a lot of my insight, is by being connected. So when I used to engage with that, you know, my BM, shit was crazy. Once I understood how the disconnect works and the kind of space that it put me in, I didn't want to be involved with that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's enough life out here to go around. I know everybody won't get a slice, but it is enough to go around for everyone. And I know this subject is kind of just like on the sacral chakra area right now, what I'm talking about, but we can put any examples in the place right here where you've been engaging with someone, and I don't know, some men, you know, they only have females engage with them because they want their money. You know what I mean? They're not seeing the being who's actually put themselves in position to have these finances to give to them, or their family who's positioned themselves to give them finances so that they can distribute and disperse it however they feel. You know what I mean? And then the opposite side of the spectrum, we already know. I don't want to do that back and forth thing right now. You know, you can put your own examples in place and use your real life as far as how you engage with people and how you knew that it was a disconnect there, that they was only engaging with the physical vessel here. You know, I was out doing some work the other day, and I was on the phone with somebody. And as I was going into a store, one of the ladies that was sitting outside, she was just staring at me all weird. Like, I don't know if y'all see old people expressions, like older white people that grew up in a different generation. They have some pretty hard facial expressions. They probably don't be mad or angry, but their expressions, their resting face always look like they're in a disgusted space. So when I was walking past her, she just was staring and staring and staring. And staring, not breaking vision, you know what I'm saying? Because I won't say holding eye contact, because I looked, but I tried to look away, but she was staring. It was like she was staring so hard it drew my eyes back to her eyes, and I'm just staring as I'm walking. And as I'm going past her, she's like, you have some really beautiful, she sounded way softer than what she looked like. You have some really beautiful hair. And all I could do was smile, because my first initial impression was it wasn't on the up and up. It was something low vibrational, you know what I mean? And like, she gave the vessel a compliment, right? Old white lady. She looked like she was in probably like her 60s, 70s. She was in that era where, you know, jungle fever was a thing. Like, so you'll run into that a lot out here in Virginia. But instead of acknowledging, like, you keep yourself together pretty well, you know, or you're pretty healthy, or I like the way you present yourself, you know what I mean? Instead of acknowledging the being that I am, all the focus and attention goes on the physical attributes. And yes, it plays a factor, but that shouldn't be the deciding factor. And that's what we do a lot. We have to engage with that a lot. It's always so much of that going on that it makes it kind of hard to fully engage with people. You know what I mean? So being out here in today's society, you just have to be mindful. What I try to do now is I try not to take too much of it to heart, because I already understand, like, a lot of people are using the wrong playbook. So for them, I'm filming right now.
I was about to say, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying to ask you, like, am I gonna mess up the shot real quick for you? Like, yeah. I'm trying to be respectful.
It's a whole lake. If you got to film there, if you got to fish there, you can. but this was interrupting my train of thought right here. But yeah, it's a whole lake. But if that's where you got to fish at, you can go right ahead, boss.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's why I came to ask you, dude.
Oh yeah, do what you gotta do, man.
I was gonna maybe catch a bluegill or something if I could. If not, I don't want to interrupt too much.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were doing a podcast or something. I was gonna be.
Yeah, I am. This is from my YouTube. So okay, if you want to go, huh?
What's it about? Maybe I'll follow you.
It's spiritual knowledge. It's TrakBeatz. I can give you a card or send you the link or something afterwards. Yeah, I'm about to finish up in a second anyway, so you can take over any space. You fine?
Take it, bro.
Oh, you fine, man. I'm wrapping it up now. You all right?
Cool. I'll watch it. My bad, dude. You know,
oh yeah, no problem.
I was just trying to ask to be respectful.
Yeah, nah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Just do your thing.
I appreciate that. So, I forgot what I was saying. Anyways, we are more than these vessels, you know what I mean? And even that slight gesture right there, hey, excuse me, you yelling while you see me filming, that's an interruption. If you're silent and you have to use this part of the lake to film, that's fine. That's less interruptive to me. But the way that people go about things, it's hard for me to take offense to too much, you know what I mean? He was respectful about it, but if I see somebody filming, I already understand that they're in the middle of doing something. That's like if I was having a conversation with somebody right here, you know? But I'm a warrior at heart. I'll be ready for all the smoke. So I just try to take things lightly, and I try to make sure that when I'm engaging with a lot of these people out here, I understand, like, they like children, you know what I mean? Like lost children, and then you got some very aware demonic entities out here, you know? But I ain't want to run up too long. It feels like it's a lot going on right now. You see my attention keeps going over there because you got to stay on your toes at all times out here, you know what I mean? But I appreciate all the love and support, you know what I mean? Y'all keep doing what y'all do. I'm going to keep giving y'all that love and light. I appreciate all the love and light y'all sent back. Every piece of it, trust me, I need it just as much as y'all need it, you know what I mean? We are more than these vessels. They are only going to see us as these vessels, you know what I mean? So it's your job to make sure that you present yourself and you represent yourself the best way that you can. Tapping everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.